Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Karl Meltzer before the 2013 Hardrock 100. How you doing, Karl?
I'm surviving. Ready to run 100 miles again.
Yeah, you, I wouldn't say surprise people. You ran a strong, smart race at Western States, finished 10th. How do you feel about that?
I stuck to my guns at Western because I knew I had no chance of really being in the front. So I definitely picked myself 10th. I came in 10th, behind Pam Smith beating me, which made me 11th. But it was really a smart run for me. I had a tough time the last 20 miles and really slowed me down. But you know, I held on, and Scott Wolf 5 minutes behind me. I didn't have much time to spare. But I'm really psyched that I got 10th there, and I'm able to go back next year. Yeah, I had a good run. It was experience really played a huge part for me there for sure.
Totally. I mean, you were, I don't know what place you were, but you were back with me at mile 20.
Yeah,
you were
wondering why you were there. But,
well, that as well, but.
But yeah, I mean, I wanted to be 20. I wanted to be like 20th at Robinson. I think I was 19th.
Yeah.
So I was really played that really well. And then I just expected carnage to happen. It happened a little earlier than I thought. You know, when I passed Dave Mackey going to Devil's Thumb, that surprised me. Cameron was leaning against a tree. You know, and all of a sudden we're in 14th and 13th. I'm like, well, maybe I can run top 10s, you know?
Yeah.
And then Hal was standing there, then Jorge was standing there, then here all of a sudden I'm in 8th or 9th, and I'm like, all right, you know, I have a chance. And I really barely hung on. I was struggling the last 20. But
so what was the biggest challenge that last 20? I mean, you run a lot of these, but...
Yeah, my quads were just fried. You know, I went down to the river. I didn't go hard to the river, but I think after the aid station before Rucky Chucky Nears, I think it's called, is it Peachstone?
Cal 3.
Cal 3, okay. Cal 3. I don't know. I ran it blind. But when I got there, the woman at the aid station said, hey, you know, it's kind of hot coming around the corner here. The sun's in your face. And at that point, I really hadn't felt hot. So I really was wet the whole time. I felt the heat didn't bother me at Western. But it really did kind of affect me a little going up that road, and kind of slowed me down a little. And
those are some sandy terrain.
It was just sandy exposure. The sun was like, all of a sudden it was 110 degrees, you know? And when I crossed the river, I was really disappointed I had to get in a boat. That was like mentally disappointing. Started walking up to the Green Gate and just didn't feel real energy there. And then two guys came behind me, and then just, it's funny because when I left Green Gate, there's a little tiny little downhill after you leave Green Gate, and my quads were just like toasted. Yeah. So I was just like, you know, struggling going downhill, and that was where, I mean, I could have run 17:30 had I had a good finish, but instead my quads were fried or an 18:50. So this goes to show you the end of the race is really what matters, you know.
Totally. Obviously, people think of you as a mountain 100-mile guy. I mean, that's what you probably enjoy the most, at least. Sure. Why do you think your quads weren't there?
Well, I didn't have much training. I mean, you know, after Sonoma, I averaged about 25 miles a week. I didn't really have much. I really wanted to go into Western well-trained and kind of ready for that. I would have done long downhill runs off Snowbird, things like that, but I didn't have a chance to do that. I did for 2 weeks before it. You know, maybe that's a factor, maybe it's not. I can look back at my underlying base for all my years in career and all that stuff. Yes, you've got great base, but it stays with you for a long time, the knowledge of knowing how to do it. But, I mean, your body still deteriorates or doesn't recover as fast if you don't run as many miles. I mean, I just didn't have a great lead up to the race. So that, you can blame it on that if you want. I don't blame it on anything. No. It's just you know, it is what it is. I got 10th, man. That's why I can't complain about that.
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks later, you're here. Yeah. Hardrock. This past weekend, you went up to Snowbird to do a workout, 5,000 feet of vertical. Yeah. With the tram down. How the quad's doing?
That was just common sense on the tram down. We hiked up the top, no problem. Down in the back, came back up, and I was tired coming back up. Total vert that day was like 5,500. It was a good indicator of kind of how I felt, and I'm like, let's take the tram down and just do the right thing. I could have run down. Yeah. But, you know, I just hiked around this last week. I didn't run. If you would have asked me last week or maybe 10 days ago if I was running this, I'd be no way. My quads are just too fried. But, you know, I recovered pretty quickly. I couldn't stop eating for like a week. All I would do is just constantly eat, and it helps your recovery, you know. And now it's like, I'm not going to give up Hardrock. It's kind of my baby, and so I'm here. And my next race isn't going to be the Run Rabbit Run, so I'll bang out the Speedgo 50K, and then just train. And hopefully I'll be healthy for that too.
You run a Speedgo or just?
No, okay. Just RD. No.
That's enough of a
running around, but no, I'm just RD.
So what's your plan for tomorrow?
Well,
I mean, you hold the course record in the counterclockwise direction. You've won this thing a couple times.
Yeah.
What's on your plate for realistically?
Realistically on the plate, I think it's a Joe Seb show. You know, I mean, I think we all know that. Joe and Seb should probably run away, and who knows if they'll blow? Probably not. But I think beyond those two, there's maybe 8 of us in this peloton, or either 10 of us or so that'll probably be shuffling back and forth. For me, I'm just going to go, and it's pretty easy for me to say, I'm just going to go run it, you know, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't feel like I'm not fit to run 24 and a half. I think we all know that right now. But I'll run and do my thing, and hopefully after I finally get over Handies, the course to me actually kind of gets easier after that. Handies is not pleasant. It's not pleasant. I think once I get over that, if I feel okay coming into grass, my quads aren't destroyed, then I'll probably have a decent race. I'll know that I'm okay. It's not about, I'm not competing with anyone here. I'm running against myself. My ultimate goal would be, it would be great if I beat Nick Clark's 27:50. I have no chance of breaking his double. That was the initial plan.
Yeah.
But that's out the door. So I'll just go and do my thing, and I hope to eat some food off the tables instead of just eating Joe like I usually do. And just to go have fun, you know. Yeah. I know it's all a cliche thing to say that, but you know, when you know you're not 100% really fit to race this thing, you're just like, all right, I've done this a million times, and I get to have fun right around San Juan. So.
If you didn't love, you won this thing enough times, and you didn't enough other races. If it wasn't fun, why would you?
Well, why would I? I mean,
especially 2 weeks after Hardrock.
I mean, it's a painful place. This is painful, you know.
There's gonna be a lot of unpleasantness out there at some point.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna come earlier than I want. But it's just. But we do it because we love it, and that's why I'm still running races, is because I like to do it. I'm not retired yet, you know. Yeah. I'm getting a little slower, but I'm not retired.
So I haven't seen any speed goat odds on your website. You've been a little busy.
Yeah. It's only because I've been so busy.
Obviously, you think Joe and Seb are
I think
up there,
Joe and Seb are 1-2.
Does one have an edge over the other, you think?
It'll be interesting to see how Seb does at altitude. We know he can climb in the Alps. We know he can kill it at UTMB. But will the altitude affect him? I think Joe knows what the altitude is going to feel like, maybe a little better than Seb. Seb's been here a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
So he knows kind of what it feels like, but he doesn't know what it feels like at 70 miles.
The cumulative effect.
The cumulative effect, yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays for him. But beyond those two, you got Chris Price, Jared Campbell. Looks like Petter Taylor bailed out. It's kind of funny because he said he'd definitely be here.
Oh, really? Well, he's doing Slam. Is he planning to do this?
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. He was on this list.
Okay.
Anyway, regardless of that, Scott Heine, another person that really has the ability to kind of run pretty fast here. Yeah. He really hasn't nailed a fast one here, but he can, you know. Who else was on the Chris Price? I mentioned him. Myself, I guess.
Are the Corey brothers ready to nail?
The Corey brothers, yeah. Another couple guys I could run. I would say they're good for 27 to 28 on a good day. I don't think they're 24 or something.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a good hard rock field, but not thick like Western.
Yeah.
And that's pretty typical every year.
140 people, and you can't run your way unless you won the previous year.
Yeah, so. Right. And then, you got Diana Finkel, and then you got Darcy. It's a Diana Darcy show too. And then you've got Sarah McCloskey, who I think will run pretty close behind them. I think Sarah's kind of a dark horse. She's the dark horse to win the women's. Obviously, the other two are a little better than Sarah, but Sarah's had a good year. She's fit, you know. So we'll see. I mean, for me, top 10 would be great.
Yeah.
You know, and if I do that, then I'll be satisfied.
You wouldn't mind top 5 either.
Of course. Wouldn't mind third. But honestly, finishing is important. That would be 8 for me, and that would make me think, well, maybe I need to do it 10 times. So. And
then head up to Kroger's for a couple years.
Yeah, and then pull that 10-time finisher volunteer aid station at Kroger's. Yeah. That would be cool. So the goal, no matter what happens to me, if I'm not injured, if I don't injure myself up there, I'll finish the race. Awesome. So that's really what I want to do.
Well, have fun out there, Carl. Run fast, enjoy it.
Yeah. It's not that far. 100 miles is not far.
All right, and one bonus question for Carl. Couldn't talk about your shoes back at Run Rabbit Run, but I think you got the Hoka Rapanuis on?
Yes, I'm wearing the Rapanuis one more time. They're from France.
They're not in the U.S.
They're not in the U.S. yet. They'll be here in a couple months.
Like October, probably?
Yeah, October most likely. After OR show, they'll probably pump them out in the U.S. But these are a little different, little lower profile, a little different traction, one piece.
Yeah, people probably can't see that, but they're a little lower to the ground. They're a little more flexible, right?
Yeah, and they're 9 ounces, so they're pretty light. I love them. And again, I've been running. I fit prototype size, which is the reason I've been able to run in them.
But
9.5. Okay, sorry, but that's the thing. I mean, I am running in a different shoe, but it's these things have been. They were 3-0 until I ran Western. Hey,
Fair enough.
3-1. It's all right. So they're going to be 3-2 after this, but that's all right. Really like them.
I noticed that early on at Run Rabbit Run, you had a little piece of foam just beneath the quick laces and the speed laces in the tongue. Not anymore? Is your
no? I think
was that just one incident, or
it was kind of one incident where I have some. Both my feet both have neuromas right now. And if I walk around barefoot on a hard floor, it doesn't feel very good.
No.
Put these things on, I feel fine. But that little piece of foam was just a little bit of just a little cushion between the laces and the top of my foot. That's all. It was nothing special, but it's actually a pretty good idea if you have that kind of issues.
Or even have in maybe your drop bag with your crew in case, especially to course a lot of downhill. That can happen if you just tie one eyelid too tight, and it hurts.
And it can make your foot numb because it rubs on the nerve that runs over the top of your foot. So and the tendons there can rub like this and make your tendons hurt. So that little bit of pad makes a big difference.
There you go, folks. Speed Go tip.
Extra tip for you.
Thanks, Karl.
All right. Cheers. Right on.